All right. We are back at the Grit Won't Quit podcast studio. We have a very special guest on. We have Donny Graham. He's a friend of mine. He's a client of mine, good guy to know in the neighborhood. He's got multiple businesses. He's got DG Landscape. He's got Blood Money Fishing, and he's got Wet Tech Technologies Powerwashing. Good morning, Donny. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for coming on. We've been talking about this for a long time. I'm glad we were able to make it a reality and get you on today.
Yeah, about a year now, right?
We've been talking about it for a year. So you're like an entrepreneur. You got multiple things going on, and you've always told me from the first day I met you, in this world you need to have multiple businesses, multiple streams of income.
I agree. Income is important. Families a lot harder to come by these days. Making the bills get paid. Just trying to make ends meet. So I figured out for me what worked best was multiple incomes. I have a real job. I'm a union operator, 825 operator for JF Kiley Construction Company. I have obviously the landscaping company we discussed.
Now the landscaping company's been in the business. You have that business the longest, correct?
10 years now. Probably just over 10 years now.
10 years, and you do residential, you do commercial, you do plantings, you do masonry, you do lawn cutting. So you're in a very competitive world.
So every day you got guys coming to the table that are either underinsured, not insured. It makes competition tough for a lot of businesses, small business.
You're dealing with it the right way.
You have
things
to.
On the up and ups.
You have to. 10 years now. I have some of the same customers I had since I opened the doors. There's ups and downs in every business. We keep trucking along. I mean,
what got you into that side hustle? So you're a union operator. You're established. You have a nice life. You're married. You decide that you're gonna start doing this.
So again, multiple streams of income. I had a full-time job. I was a manager at a towing company in Tom's River, Accurate Towing Service. Tom, owner, is like my second dad.
Shout out to Accurate Towing.
Accurate Towing. You need a tow? Give him a call.
Good to know.
Anyway, I watched my parents grow up, and I grew up, and I didn't grow up bad. My parents weren't wealthy. They were middle class to the T. Told me if you want something, work hard, you can achieve it. You know what I mean? So my parents would co-sign for me when I was younger. That's how things started. They wouldn't give me $1, but they'd put their neck out for me because they knew I'd pay my bills. I was always a hustler and always worked hard.
I love that.
And so pretty much what happened is I realized, I wanted a life different than what my parents had. And I appreciated what they gave me, but I wanted to be better. And, my father passed away 5 years ago now, and before he passed away, he told me, he goes, Donny, he goes, I'm proud of you. He goes, but I want you to be better than me. So my whole philosophy on life is be better than me. Now I have a son, he's 5, and my words to him pretty much every other day, if not every day, are you're going to be better than me. No matter what you do. You want to go to college? Fine. You want to take over the business? Fine. You want to do your own thing? Fine. I said, but you're going to be better than me. And
I love seeing him fishing.
Yeah.
He's a good fisherman at 5.
Yeah, I put him on Facebook a lot.
I love to see him.
He goes to school. Obviously I have Blood Money Sport Fishing. We do a little bit of inshore, offshore, tuna, marlin, sword, sharks. The big thing is he goes to school. He's now in kindergarten, and he goes to school, and they talk to the teachers and stuff and the kids, and he's not shy. He goes to the teacher and he goes, I caught a mako this week, or I caught a pressure shark when, it's a thresher shark, but he doesn't get it. He's still too young, or we bring tunas in and stuff. And he's telling the teachers these stories, and the teachers kind of like pull us aside when we have like parent-teacher conferences, like, Deacon has some really interesting stories. And I'm like, yeah, well, my son's also been offshore 100 miles out in the canyons where the water's purple, 20, 30 times already, some people don't even get to see that ever in their life.
Sure.
So, he's very intelligent. But like I said, proud that I can at least let him try and be better than me. That's the whole point here. So
that's great. So you start getting DG going, you're still working full time, and then you start doing other things. So you start doing. How long have you had the fishing?
So the fishing's been going on since 2021. So it's relatively new. It's a smaller based clientele, more friends, family, friends of friends, family, a little bit of corporate stuff. I really just don't sit at the dock and say, "Hey, you want to go fish?"
Yeah.
It's more of an arranged type thing, a lot more business oriented. With DG set in the way, as well as having my full-time job, it lets me kind of expand my avenues because you're investing the money that you're making into different areas to figure out how to make another set of money come in.
That's really great. Like you're taking earned income and you're putting it into investments that's now producing more income for you.
Well, it's just like somebody that buys a house. You buy a house, you live in your house, you buy another investment property, and you're investing in this property to put a renter in there that's paying your mortgage on the house that you're going to own eventually once you're done paying the note to the bank.
Sure.
You're also making a couple bucks as revenue as well. And then the key is to get another house or another house or another house, have 5 or 6 of them, as long as you do okay with, decent tenants.
That's the hardest part of housing.
Well, it's just like employees.
Yep.
Employees, you are nothing as a business without a good employee. So you have to literally structure your business based upon the fact that, once you're an employer and you have employees, they have to earn a living too. This is how they survive. So when somebody works for you, I've had James with me. James has been with me for almost 8 years now, almost since day one. My brother started it with me. He went on a different path in life, still comes to work with me, still snow plows for me, my brother, still shows up when I need him. It's kind of good. But, your employees are your biggest assets because, like I said, if you don't have good employees or you just have a so-so employee that leaves you halfway through the season, with the landscaping, we do 250 lawns a week. So your guys need to know your routes. Otherwise, you're wasting money. You can't miss lawns because you're losing customers then.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that it's a well-oiled machine. And like I said, employees are your biggest asset. Without them, you don't have a business.
And managing employees while you're doing something full-time, do you find that hard? Because,
it's difficult.
People need to sometimes get in touch with you.
It's difficult. So I can always answer my phone. That's one thing I've been privileged with where I work, what I do for where I work. I always have the ability to answer my phone or, usually my days are pre-planned for me. Obviously today we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I knew this was happening.
Sure.
I had physical therapy this morning, something I really didn't want to do, but obviously I was injured a little while ago and, it's something I need to do. So my days are pretty much pre-planned. I know what's going to happen. So with the employees, the whole fact of the matter is that they know what they're doing when they wake up in the morning and they know what needs to be accomplished for the day. They're not done working until it's accomplished for the day. And then obviously they're rewarded for getting things accomplished. If they get more things done than anticipated, well, then that's when you throw in bonuses. And that's how you keep
share
employees.
the wealth.
Yeah, like I said, you can't be a small business. And like I said, by small business, I have 5 or 6 employees for my landscaping company that work full-time for me. They're pretty much still full-time all winter long. We have a bunch of different projects we've worked on over the winter, property management type stuff. Not really handyman type stuff, but obviously projects that some of these bigger associations that don't want to do during season. A little bit of concrete work, some bush planting, some grading issues, stuff like that we can handle in the off-season. And then obviously, like I said, I also have the hot water power washing company. I had one prior, sold it. I'm an entrepreneur. To me, selling a business is the ultimate win. You just need to decide if you're ready to let it go or not. That's the big thing. So.
And now you have Wet Technologies, which has been in business about a year now?
About a year now. We're going on 1 year since May 1st of last year. Pretty much started over something that I had going on prior. New clientele, new business contacts, using some of the same distributors for some of my equipment. Obviously, still with you, I can't stress enough, postcards, business cards, shirts, wash shirts, anything you need, just make one call, Wingman.
There you go, websites too.
That's it. Websites, social media, digital marketing, direct mailers. That's going to be the new thing this year. We're going to do some direct mailing.
That's going to be great to start hitting into new communities for you.
I came up with this idea of the gift card idea.
The holiday gift card.
The holiday gift card. And, it's pretty exciting when I have to call you and say, hey, Tom, I need another 1,000 cards.
Yep. They're here. You don't not leave before you
I know. They're on the table. I'll get them. I'll make sure I take them this time.
I saw you last week at the Manasquan office, and you forgot to take them.
That's all right.
I forgot to give it to you.
That's all right.
Long and short. But so now, do you see yourself investing in other businesses? And you say you're an entrepreneur, and I truly believe that. Getting to know you over the years. So what's next?
So a couple things. Obviously, DG is kind of like a self-oiled machine. I've had clientele, like I told you, from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I keep gaining clientele to the point where, like I said, my landscaping company has now turned into a full-time job, meaning full-time, full season, January to January. And that doesn't just include your normal lawn maintenance in season type stuff. Obviously, we do snow plowing this year. We've been pretty fortunate. We've had a decent amount.
Yep.
We do plowing for the state, for the DOT. A couple routes on the highways, Route 70, 88, Route 9 in Toms River. So they've kept us pretty busy with that. But like I said, branching off, because this is New Jersey, and we don't know if it's going to snow.
No.
It either snows or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So thankfully this year's been pretty good to me. But like I said, going into the key aspects with this property management stuff, and some of these bigger associations or 55 and older communities and stuff like that, they've been keeping my guys going pretty much every day. I mean, obviously, if we got inclement weather or a day like today where it's 22 degrees, it doesn't even make sense to go do anything.
Yep.
But, with that, it's good. And then, like I said, now for a year now, we've got Wet Technologies started. Wet Technologies, like I said, started from a sale of another business, and the equipment that I've purchased, all higher end stuff, new technology, soft washing, the power washing, obviously. We've started doing fleets of trucks this year too.
That's pretty cool that you added fleets. So kind of talk about what that is.
So a little bit about the fleets. So like I said, we do predominantly houses. We do residential and commercial.
And you do sidewalks and pavers.
Sidewalks, pavers, new polymeric sand, gum removal, grease removal. But this year I had a couple people reach out to me and say, hey, Donnie, listen, I can't find anybody good or somebody that will consistently show up on a schedule to wash my trucks. And it all started with, CJ Heese in Lacey. And, she reached out to me and she said, hey, listen, the guy we use, he just, our trucks are here every Saturday and Sunday. And okay, maybe you guys want a day off or whatever, but I have a crew and I have other guys that work for me. So I propositioned one of my guys. I said, hey, you want to wash trucks on the weekend? Yeah, sure. So now we grew from CJ Heese to the Ocean County landfill to AC Heese to waste management to now we're signing a contract with Marpol Disposal up in Matawan. And, obviously this is something that's ongoing. It's fleet washing. So, the initial cleans on these trucks and these garbage trucks and stuff, it's a little time consuming. But once you get them where they need to be.
Into preventive maintenance and ongoing maintenance.
Every week it's a quick wash. It's a quick wash. A truck that took an hour the first time now takes 10 minutes the next time. Yep. So the key is to get as many as you can done. And like I said, again, power washing, not a lot of guys like to do this stuff. But if you structure it right and figure out the money situation, cost, overhead, insurance, and then wear and tear on trucks, tolls, and figure out what the big number is, and then obviously figure out how many trucks you need to wash. But obviously, if you're doing something right, you're going to gain business. And literally all I did was pretty much open the door to one person and the relationship thing. We go back to relationships.
They're spreading the word for you.
Relationships.
It's all about
It's all it is. I mean, like I said, you can have a guy. Everybody always says they have a guy. I have a guy, My gutter fell off the house, but I have a guy. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a guy. But listen, you don't got to be you need to understand that just because somebody has a guy doesn't mean there's not a chance for you.
Yep.
You need to understand that if you provide a good service, you're fair, you're honest, and you keep your word, you'll have a customer for life.
Totally.
So
I love it. I love that way of thinking. And that's kind of what you do, because you bounce people from business to business.
Yeah.
People that are in the DG world then go into the wet tech world.
Well,
and wet tech customers, then you're offering DG services.
well, it works out good. So I mean, DG started out as DG Lawn and Landscaping. DG has grown over the years now, where I've opened up another LLC, DG Services. DG Services is going to take full flight this year. So this is something where it's more or less a general contractor company.
Okay.
So what's going to happen here is it's going to bridge the gap between my two labor businesses that I run and own right now. So what'll happen is, you want a spring cleanup at your house? No problem. We're going to do a spring cleanup for you, and you're going to get one of my $50 gift cards and say, hey, listen, we do power washing.
Sure.
And sure enough, I'll do your spring cleanup. I'll do your house wash. Then I'll cut your grass to the point where even maybe we'll come shovel your driveway if it snows. So that customer now that was once a spring cleanup or just a lawn cut now turns into 5 different things.
That's great.
So the revenue just kind of funnels in.
And they have one person to call. Just like you say about me. I know you always say this every time we talk about marketing. You always say, I just call you and you just handle it. And I know you don't do everything, but it's your job to go get all the pieces of the puzzle.
Well, listen.
So it's the same thing in your world.
I'm busy, and this is my forte. You're busy. This is your forte.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you got to look at it like, listen, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. And there's been plenty of people that I've had reach out to you, friends of mine, people that say, hey, do you know this wingman guy? Or, hey, do you know somebody that does a website?
Yeah.
Or, hey, whether it be another power washer, whether it be just somebody that's looking to start their own business. You know what I mean? But like I said, for me, it's easier. And like I said, there's a number for everything. You're in business too. Okay. So at the end of the day, when I tell you I need something, sure enough, one of your girls is sending me a proof either hours or the next day saying, hey, and it's me the one that's dragging my feet to say, hey, approved, whatever, But at the end
I saw Heather last night when we were leaving Manasquan, and I go, I'm going to see Donnie in the morning. Did he look at his new postcard? She goes, I sent it to him. He didn't get back to me yet. So.
So I got back.
You.
I got back to her.
Right.
I got back to her, and for the direct mailer.
Yeah.
And I had her update and add a couple things. Some people aren't so QR code tech savvy.
Yep.
Some of the clientele that we reach may be 65 or older and not understand what that even is. So I had her add a website onto the, the www on there, wettechpowerwashing.com. You know what I mean? I had her add that. And, other than that, just everything looks good on that end. And I just told her, I think this morning on the way in, approved. And
perfect. We're ready to rock.
I'll have the check sent.
Perfect. I mean? So now on your home services, let's go back to that. So you're gonna just be the guy.
Well, that's the point here. I mean, listen, I have friends and I subcontract a lot of work. I mean, you can't do everything by yourself.
No.
This year, Mark Barroso has stepped up to the plate for me. Another client we've brought to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely recommend it. And we did the joint door hanger last year.
Yep. So we did last year. We did the door hanger. Obviously, he owns a landscaping company.
You guys owned Brown's Mill there for the end of the season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what happens is he owns a landscaping company. I don't play with his customers. He doesn't play with mine, and we have a mutual relationship where his brother actually is one of my employees that pretty much day-to-day operations for my power washing company.
Sure.
And Mark goes in, he does his things with his customers, and I come in right behind and I do other things with his customers. And pretty much we have a good relationship where we work back and forth. I mean, same thing. Tom Jara, Wonder Man Handyman, Wonder Washers. He snowplows for me this year. He's
definitely learned. He's definitely
come a long way.
He's come a long way, and he's definitely just continuing to hustle. He's got a drive.
Entrepreneur, listen, gutter falls off, siding falls off. You need something painted. You need something power washed. You need. He does these Govee light thing this year. That was his big thing this year. He did really good with that. I mean,
And you share some business, or you send him some
back and forth. I mean, listen. If you can have a mutual respect for somebody, and as long as you have mutual respect for my business, I farm it out. I'll give you work.
Sure.
Because you can't do it all. And sometimes the customer doesn't want to hear, I can see you next week, when, for instance, I have Tom who can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It fits in his schedule for some reason. So, hey, or, Mark Barroso, he comes in again and, saves the day. Last night, we had this little...
Freak snow.
flizzard to come through. You know what I mean? It was a quarter inch of nothing,
Yep.
but obviously I have a lot of corporate accounts for snow removal and landscaping, and they all start calling in and saying, "Hey, we need salt. Hey, we don't want ice. We don't, And sure enough, I made one phone call to Mark. I said, "Mark, I need you to go out to Hamilton Square out by Trenton."
Yeah.
Didn't even hang up, and he's already in the truck. I could hear it,
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's a good guy.
He's
too.
a hustler.
He's a hustler.
He's a hustler.
He definitely has your back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's taking care of me again. Tom Jar again, another one this
Yep.
year. He's got two of his guys. They're not working. It's slow season right now, or he's got piecework. His guys jump in my Army 5-ton trucks and go plow for the DOT for me. I
Yep.
got both his guys out there. He's playing supervisor, following him around. Everybody's working, making money. Then, we pull him away from that stuff and let him go plow parking lots, get more money.
Yep.
We just try and capitalize to, obviously feed people. He's got a family too.
Yep.
They all got families. So
Yeah.
at this point, you can consider him an ally or you can consider him an employee. But same thing. When his guys are working for me, technically subcontracted, but they're still my employees. I got to take care of them.
Sure.
Got to make sure they're all right. They got a problem or complaint. You got to address it.
Yep.
But I really can't complain when it comes to that end.
It's great that you've made a network within some of the, to have friendly competitors.
Yeah.
Like people that you could count on to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because it grows.
Listen, there's more than enough work for everybody.
Totally.
And I don't care what your forte is. You could be a realtor. You could be another social media guy like you or a business solution guy like you. There are so many avenues of business and there are so many avenues of work to come in and a variety of work. So listen, I don't paint houses. I don't do gutters. I'll clean your gutters, but I don't do gutters.
Yeah.
I don't fix soffits. I don't, do any of that stuff. So when somebody calls me or a customer of mine says, "Hey, listen, Donnie, do you know somebody that can paint my house?" Or "Donnie, do you know somebody that can stain my deck?" Because I really don't do deck staining either.
Sure.
I want nothing to do with it.
Yep.
I'll clean your deck, but I really don't want any of the aspect of what comes after. "Hey, Tom, I got a customer. Here's his phone number. Go deal with it." And I don't look for anything in return. I don't go for kickbacks. I just want my customer handled.
Yeah, if your customer's happy, it makes you look better.
They're going to call me again next
Yeah,
year.
totally.
So
great. So the relationship game is one of your big games.
It is. And like I said, I've heard other podcasts you've had and, they call it collaboration, not competition, stuff like that, And listen, it all goes back to the fact that if you keep your word, if you're properly insured, where it's not going to come back and hurt my way of life, because lawsuits happen.
Yes, you're absolutely.
They do. I don't know any business that can't right now pick up their phone and call their lawyer and say, "Hey, listen, I got a question. What should we do here?"
Yep.
Because when you expose yourself for 10 years, you expose yourself for a year. Slip and falls happen. Things break. Ladder goes through a window. Listen, it could be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just got to make sure you're covered. But, at the end of the day, you take care of your issues because they happen. They happen every day. But you know what? As long as you make sure you do it the right way, you're properly registered, properly insured, you just keep on moving forward.
Yep.
Keep on moving forward.
I love it. So, I think this is a great podcast for people that are, have a job, have a full-time job, and, but want to have a side hustle. Like when you look at what Donnie's done over the years, it didn't come overnight that he had three businesses that were producing, results. It took time, but he knew that he wanted to do better, knew he wanted to hustle, knew that he wanted more out of life than he had. Like, this is a great story about success. And, you can't be scared of hard work.
No. Like I said, you're going to put in your time. You're going to get tired. You're going to want to give up at times.
And you're going to get pissed off, and the customer's going to annoy you, and you're going to do something stupid, and you're going to have to pay a repair or spend a little extra on something that you did not anticipate. The truck's going to break.
Don't even get me started with that.
Don't even get me started.
That's a sore subject. Let's not even go there.
But these things do happen. But I like a lot of guys that have been on the program over the last year and a half have been where they own a business, one business by themselves. That's what they do. In this case, this is a unique podcast, and this is why I really wanted Donnie on for a year, is because he still works a full-time job, has a family, and has three businesses going on the side, but utilizes a network of people to make this happen, which is really, I think, one big takeaway today.
Yeah, like I said, a full-time job W-2, for your taxes. You're showing income. You can get a mortgage. Having a real job for me is great. I mean, I have a pension, a retirement. I have health care for my family. It's all through my full-time job. And I mean, listen, some people can handle the stress of having a full-time job, and some people can handle having the stress of having a full-time job and starting, let's call it a side hustle. And, don't be afraid to start out small. I mean, you could literally pick up a lawnmower and go pick up 10 lawns after work. And at $40, $50 a lawn, there's $500 a week extra that you didn't have that pays one bill. And then what happens is now this person's going to literally get to you and say, hey, listen, my friend needs their lawn cut and my company needs their lawn cut. And then you grow slowly.
Yep.
And then, like I said, over the years, you'll grow and grow and grow to decide. And I've had the thoughts, do I quit my full-time job? Do I really need to work? People call it a 9 to 5, but mine's really a 5 to 3.
Yep.
So
your schedule is perfect though, that 5 to 3, because you're out of there.
You're out of work. There's still some daylight. You can go control the chaos after work. I mean, but like I said, you think about things, and it's like, I still consider myself middle class to the T. I do. I do well for myself, and I work very, very hard. Everything I've accomplished in life, from my wife to the lifestyle I live, to my son, to my businesses, to my pleasure, which honestly, I like to go fish. It's my thing. I like to just get in the boat. I got a nice boat. And I like to just go out in the ocean and just forget everything behind me.
Yeah.
And then we fish, and like I said, you don't have to like fishing to get away from life.
Sure.
And you need your day during the week, and sometimes I don't get my day during the week, but I'll get to the next week. You know what I mean? You need your break from reality.
Sure.
Okay. And like I said, again, going back, full-time job, and then the side hustles. The side hustle turns into, oh my God, this is a business now, to, oh my God, this business is, prospering. Do I need a secretary? Do I find a guy that can run my business for me, where I just stand back and just steer from back here instead of having to have my hands all up in it?
Yep.
If you can find guys to run your business for you, take care of them, you're still going to have stress. You're still going to have to answer questions, and you're still going to have to guide. But if I can steer from here instead of having to hold the steering wheel, like I said, that's a win. That's a win. And then when somebody buys your business from you, that's even better, because now you made money. And like I said, don't be scared to start another business. Don't be scared to try something else. And don't be scared to fail.
You're gonna.
It's life.
It's life. It's life. You're gonna fail.
It's life.
And again, everybody that tells you they only win, they're lying to you. It's like the people that go to AC and they never come home with a lost story.
Yep.
Everybody knows this. They don't tell you about the lost.
A lot of donations get made down there. You know what I mean?
So this was a great conversation. I'm really glad I finally dragged you in here.
Yeah.
Let people know where to find you online. On Facebook, Instagram, your website, just so that anybody that's looking for your services can get in touch with you.
So obviously, DG Lawn and Landscaping, we're going to start a new website for that. It's obviously 10 years, and I haven't had to have a website.
That's insane.
Or any social media for
crazy.
it. It's been a well-oiled machine. But obviously, you're my guy, so you'll be doing that. I think we're already working on that. Wet Technologies Powerwashing. Like I said, new company, new venture, same old game. But we're Wet Technologies Powerwashing. It's wettechpowerwashing.com, 732-977-5611. Pretty much you can get us on our website. You can send a request for a quote. You can find us on Facebook. We update a lot of the work we do on there. And then obviously, by finding me there or finding DG Lawn and Landscaping at 732-575-5868, we can collaborate and figure out what you need and what we can do for you.
Sounds great. Don, thanks for coming on. Great to see you, and have a great season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.